Yo, people. So, once again, I've got another one, two, three, four, five, six, maybe even seven in this one. Yeah, I'm going deep on this one again. And I just spiraled into this one and just started seeing all these people, which I love it when this happens. But let's get straight into it. Okay, I believe that Jason Lee, the comedy actor and ex-skateboarder, is also Keanu Reeves. So there he is. This goes into some others, but I'll go into them later on. So start with Keanu. So when I was researching on my previous video with Jason Lee, the more I looked at Jason Lee, the more I suddenly realised, oh yeah, he's Keanu Reeves, blatantly. So that's what spiraled me into, and this is what spiraled me into other characters. So obviously Keanu Reeves, most famous for The Matrix, which is an incredible film. They tell us the truth. They put it in all the films. We have to decipher the truth from the fiction. But ultimately the truth is within. So if you listen, you will find the truth. Now, a lot of people seem to think Keanu's some kind of modern day hero because there's always these internet memes about him, I don't know, saving dogs from getting run over and helping grannies walk across the road and shit. And it's like, always cracks me up because as much as like Keanu seems like a nice enough guy, like he's always blatantly part of it. No one gets to play Neo in the Matrix without being a Hollywood puppet. So Jason Lee is obviously a small time comedy actor and skateboarder, but you know, you start putting them together there, and then if you look at this picture here of Jason Lee, and I put the image there to prove it's him, I mean, that there is looking like Keanu. You put them together, I mean, you know, apart from straight eyebrows, slightly different eyes, darker hair, they are the same person. So quick check on the height, 6'2", Jason Lee. Keanu, 6'1", so we're in the same ballpark, which is always good. So this is Jason Lee and what I know him from back in the 80s when he was a skater. Now I couldn't find many links to Keanu skateboarding, but it does appear as a character in a computer game which is called Skate. So that's a nice little link, but it is only a little link. But like I said, I couldn't find many links with him. But he did appear in Point Break, the film about surfing, in which he's an undercover cop and he learns to become a surfer. So there he is with his co-star Laurie Petty from in Point Break, and I'll get back to her a bit later. But whilst I was looking for links to his skateboarding, I found this. And it says here, if you look at this, this is basically Tony Alva, one of the originators of skateboarding culture. And it says, Keanu Reeves, is that you? And I thought, no way, he can't be. I was like, of course he is. He's Tony Alva as well. And there's Tony Alva there, legendary skateboarder, one of the originators of skateboard culture, which started in Los Angeles, West Side, which was nicknamed Dogtown. And if you look at this here, in this place, a ragtag group of young surfers overcame all odds and rose to stardom, changing skateboarding culture forever, which nicely links up Point Break. So there's a picture of Tony Alva there as Keanu Reeves, and when we put them together, a lighter coloured hair. One's got dark hair, one's got light hair, one's got dreads, one hasn't. But I mean, you know, that's so blatantly. One's a bit older, the same person, obviously. And obviously being Tony Alva links him back to being a skater and Jason Lee. So as I said, Dogtown was West Side, Los Angeles, where skateboarding started. And this was a film made back in 2002, a documentary film, great film if you want to watch it, all about starting a skateboarding. And then this was an actual Hollywood film made called The Lords of Dogtown, which is a great film. And as you can see there, one of the main characters being Tony Alva. Now this is an interesting little synchronicity. This is the Dogtown motif, if you like. Interestingly, a cross with the sun behind the cross, which obviously is like the Celtic and pagan cross, which is based on the center of the zodiac, and the sun is the center of the zodiac. So the cool little personal synchronicity is that I've been in Brighton 20 years, but I used to come down here in the 80s when my nan lived here. And a few times I skated the Brighton vert ramp, which was known as Pig City, or Brighton was known as Pig City back in the day. It still sort of is, but back in the day it was famous for being known as Pig City. And the Pig City symbol was based on the Dogtown symbol, which is a great little synchronicity. Now, Keanu Reeves is known for playing the bass guitar in bands, and guess what? Tony Alva plays the bass guitar in bands, which is a blatant link. And Keanu Reeves was playing in a band in the 90s called Dogstar, which is such a blatant link for Keanu and Tony Alva being the same person. They both play bass, both in bands, and Keanu plays in a band called Dogstar, or played in a band called Dogstar, and Tony Alva was one of the lords, quote unquote, of Dogtown, which connects nicely with Sirius, which is known as the Dogstar, which is also known as the Star of Bethlehem. Now, Keanu Reeves has supposedly got another wife, but there's this whole thing that they're talking about. Keanu Reeves married under the eyes of God to Winona Ryder because apparently he married her in some film. But there's a few articles on this, and when you connect Winona Ryder to Tony Alva's girlfriend, they are blatantly the same person. And if we put both couples here, I mean, you know, it's so obvious, it's ridiculous. So this is Keanu Reeves in Point Break with the actress Lori Petty, who I suggest is the same person as Winona Ryder and Tony Alva's girlfriend. And if we go back to my previous video, which links the UK comedy actor David Earl with Jason Lee, and this is David Earl's wife, and if we put Lori Petty and David Earl's wife next to each other, you can see the similarities. It's the eye colour that they've kept the same in these two characters, whereas Winona Ryder and Tony Alva's wife, they've changed the eye colour. So then we look at Jason Lee, and this is him with his wife. And this is a picture of David Earl, who starred in the Ricky Gervais comedy Afterlife with this woman, Mandy Dillon, who I previously thought was his wife, but I was both wrong and right. It's not his wife, as I've just shown you his wife, but I suggest she also is the same person. And if you put these two together here, you can see that they blatantly look alike, minus the glasses. Then when we put Winona Ryder and Mandeep Dillon together, you can see with a little bit of tanning and slightly darker eyes, they are the same person. So obviously Jason Lee done the comedy My Name is Earl, which, as I mentioned in my previous video, linked him to and led me to believe that he was the actor, the UK comedy actor David Earl. And this is David Earl here, looking very skater-like. And this is Jason Lee. basically dressed the same there, same sort of skater look. And again, if you notice the hat, Patagonia, which is a clothing brand that specializes in outdoor clothing, including surfwear, which nicely links us back to Point Break. So as I said, my previous video on David Earl and Jason Lee being the same person also led me to realise that the 90s Nottingham Forest footballer Jason Lee was also the same person. Jason Lee, his namesake, obviously the link that led me to this. And this is the Jason Lee photo, looking very much like Jason Lee here, that led me to realise that these were the same people. And if we put young Jason Lee, who had dreads, and Tony Alva together, you can see that they look very similar. And a nice little link linking Jason Lee to Keanu. Jason Lee wore a red shirt of Nottingham Forest, and Keanu, as Neo, took the red pill. And for those of you that don't believe any of this is real and that this is not going on, check this out. Keanu Reeves' conspiracy theory says he is an immortal soul and hundreds of years old. And in this article here, they're suggesting that he has played many characters throughout history. So yeah, another deep dive on this video. They play many characters, and I've just proved by linking all these characters together that they are all the same person. And as much as Keanu Reeves is almost a cult hero because he's played Neo, he is just another actor. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace!